welcome to Tazewell Middle School in Tazewell, Virginia for tonight's VHSL Class 2 semifinal boys basketball matchup on the NFHS network between the 26-2 Region D runner-up Gate City Blue Devils featuring their human highlight reel, Mac McClung, and the Region D champions, the 24-2 Graham G-Men. I'm Mark Fowd along with my broadcast partner, Brady Hess. And Brady, this one promises to be a dandy as Gate City tries to avenge one of their only 2 losses on the season here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. You know, on that bus ride all the way up here from Scott County that those boys had that taste in their mouth from last month, or a couple weeks ago, rather, down at Wise when Graham defeated these Blue Devils. But, you know, it's a great environment here tonight. There are 3,519 of our closest friends in here with us, and this one's the game of the day in Virginia. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I don't think you could get one more sardine in this facility tonight. It is jam-packed. Graham defeated Gate City in Wise, Virginia 10 days ago by the score of 75-59 in the Class 2 Region D championship game. However, in Class 2, the region's cross bracket for the semifinals, with the Region D champion playing the Region C runner-up and the Region D runner-up playing the Region C champ. Those games were played last week, with Gate City knocking off the 2-time reigning state champion and Region C champs, the Radford Bobcats, at the Dedman Center on the campus of Radford University last Friday night by the score of 67-48, snapping Radford's 37-game winning streak. Graham defeated the Region C runner-up, Martinsville, 49-30 at UVA Wise on Saturday night. That sets up tonight's battle for the right to represent the western part of the Commonwealth of Virginia this weekend at the Siegel Center on the campus of Virginia Commonwealth University for the Class 2 championship game. The winner tonight will face the survivor of the Region A, Region B semifinal between Central Woodstock, the Region B runner-up, and Robert E. Lee High School in Stanton, the Region B champion. Robert E. Lee defeated Central in the Region B title game, 71-68 last weekend, so 2 regional championship game rematches. And we pause for the playing of our national anthem.
At this time, would everyone please stand, remain still. Gentlemen, remove your caps while we pay tribute to our great nation with the singing of tonight's national anthem. Tonight's national anthem, under the direction of John Sharp, will be performed by the Tazewell High School's Green Tees.
Brady Hess, the keys to the game tonight.
Yeah, keys to the game for Gate City. They got to get on the boards early. Graham won the rebounding battle last time out against the Blue Devils, 41-24 in the last meeting. And, you know, you got to get Zach Irvin involved. He's a D1 athlete in himself to bring some pressure off of Mac McClung. And the third key for Gate City, control Martin. The Graham star has 27 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in the last game. He's averaging 24 points a contest. And for Graham, they need to get out to a fast start, build an early lead in recent wins like Gate City and Martinsville, and set the tone like they did in those 2 games. Be physical in the paint, control the glass, keep Mac out of the lane, and make McClung work for his points just like the Radford Bobcats did last time out, and apply pressure. Turn the ball over for Gate City and score off of those turnovers, because, you know, points off turnovers, that helps you out a whole lot.
2 contrasting styles tonight, Brady. Obviously, Gate City is going to want to get out into transition, get quick, easy baskets, get some of the highlight dunks from Mac McClung, whereas Graham is going to try more of a half-court game.
Absolutely, and two different styles of basketball. You know, Gate City likes to get out and run, and
the starters tonight for Gate City, of course, Mac McClung. He is a human highlight reel, a social media sensation. Bradley Dean, he can hit it from three-point land 25 feet away. Andrew Sharp, Drew Vermillion, and Zach Irvin.
The success of high school athletics is based on positive sporting behavior and respect. Show your support.
Starters for Graham tonight, Darren Martin, senior guard. He is their leading scorer at 24.2 per game. Drew Baker, Emil Curto, Chance Dawson, and the big man in the middle is Garrett Dalton, the 6'5" senior. And we've had the sportsmanship discussion, and now we will have the introduction of both starting five tonight. Brady, this is as electric an atmosphere in a high school gym. It's actually a middle school gymnasium, but it is as electric as any I've been around in quite some time. These gates opened at 5. By 5:15, practically every seat and standing location was filled. And they have been standing since the teams came out for the warm-ups, and they have not sit down since. This is just a terrific atmosphere for high school basketball.
Yeah, this is the best high school basketball environment I've ever been in my life, and it's really cool that it's right down the road from where I grew up. And Gate City and Graham, they sold out the Pryor Center down at Wise. They sold out this place in Tazewell. You know, yesterday the tickets went on sale online at noon, and by 12:03 they were gone. And then each school, they had 1,000 allotments that sell on their likewise campuses, and those are gone, and you couldn't fit another person in here. But I'm glad I'm in here with you tonight on the call, and this is going to be a lot of fun.
That it will. Gate City's 2 losses this year. The first occurred on December the 26th against Northern Mecklenburg, 80-64, dropping their record to 4-1. Then they did not lose again until February the 24th against Graham, 75-59 in the Region D championship game. As for Graham High School, their 2 losses were to the same team, their arch rival, the Bluefield Beavers, and both of those losses were by a single point, 52-51 and 68-67. So Brady, Graham comes into this game 2 points away from a perfect season.
Oh, absolutely. They've been playing some great basketball, and a lot of coaches within the district I've talked with, they've talked about how good this Graham team is. A few of them called the upset back a few weeks ago when they beat Gate City, but Graham's been doing pretty good. You know, they got a bad taste in their mouth from losing to their arch rival. That's one of the biggest rivalries in high school sports in the whole country. But, you know, put that in the back of your mind. They know they beat this Gate City team, but it's hard to beat a good basketball team twice, and we'll see how it goes here tonight.
You see on your screen Scott Vermillion clapping his hands in the pink tie and the white shirt as the starting lineups are starting to be introduced. There is Mac McClung. He wears number 0. Joining him is a 6'2" sophomore guard, Bradley Dean. He can jack it up from anywhere behind the arc, and I do mean anywhere.
Yeah, he's a good shooter for sure.
Andrew Sharp is a 6'3" senior guard. He wears number 12.
Jersey number 15, a 6'1" junior, a guard, Drew Vermillion.
Drew Vermillion, 6'1" junior guard.
Jersey number 23, a 6'5" junior,
And completing the starting lineup for Gate City is Zach Irvin, 6'5", 205-pound junior shooting guard. He's getting some looks, Brady, from some mid-majors as well.
Yeah, he absolutely is. He's already scored over 1,500 in his career. He's got another year at Gate City, and he's going to be getting some more offers, and he very well could get a Power 5 conference offer just like McClung has, and that's going to be really exciting. They have another player to watch for another year.
Getting ready to have the starters introduced now for Graham High School. They are the Region D champions. Gate City would love nothing more than to avenge that 75-59 defeat 10 days ago.
And you know, Graham, this is their 8th time in the state semis in school history, first time since 2002. Some guy who ended up being an NFL running back, Ahmad Bradshaw, was running the point for the G-Man, but they're back, and they're trying to make an impact here tonight.
Ahmad Bradshaw, boy, that's a name that those that live in the Bluefield area hold in very high esteem.
And we spoke of how many times Graham's been to the state semis. Gate City, this is their 9th appearance, and they've won in the state semis 2013, 2008, 2007, and 1999 when Josh Shoemaker led the way for the Blue Devils. So no strangers to state semifinal competition, these two teams, but neither team has won a state championship, and they got that to keep them hungry here tonight.
I'm looking around right now, Brady. I think I can count on probably 2 hands the number of people that are sitting right now. Everyone in this building is standing up. This is one juiced atmosphere.
And you know, they're all here to see a good basketball game. You talk about the Mac McClung effect in Southwest Virginia, and Graham's coming on the floor and met by a very welcoming crowd.
Darren Martin, he is the leader unquestionably of this team. Drew Baker will join him, a 5'9" junior point guard. Number 23, Emil Kurto, is a 6-foot senior forward. It is Ty Gray who gets the start, a 6-foot senior guard. And the last G-man to be introduced is Garrett Dalton, the 6'5" senior. They will run him a lot at the high post, Brady, and try to get him into the passing game. He passes the ball very well for a big man.
Yes, he absolutely does. And Dalton, he gets the things going. He can climb the ladder, crash the board, and he's about to jump here, and it's going to be exciting.
On Facebook, in the comment section, let us know who you think will win tonight's game, Gate City or Graham. Gate City is already out on the floor, ready to go. Here comes Graham, and this game is about to get underway. For the right to go to Richmond to play at the Siegel Center on the campus of VCU in the Class II championship game. The official delays, throwing the ball up. Here's the tap, and it is controlled early by Bradley Dean of Gate City. He hands it off to number 0, Mac McClung.
We'll see if Gate City can get things going quick. That's what they want to do.
Irvin cross court to an open Vermillion. He puts up a 3, strong off the backboard, but offensive rebound for Gate City.
You remember McClung had 39 last time out, and here he goes. He's going to shoot here.
But the follow-up is good by Zach Irvin, and Gate City takes the early lead. This is Baker to Martin. And a man by Gate City early. The 2 guards playing back and forth up high.
We mentioned in the
This is
pregame.
Dalton Garrett. Sorry, Brady.
We mentioned in the pregame how 2 different offensive styles of basketball. Graham really slowing the pace down here.
Good defense being played by Gate City. They shift now. It looks like a 2-3 zone. And the Gate City faithful are letting their team know that they appreciate the defensive effort. Turnover by Graham. This is Dean going coast to coast. The reverse layup is good.
That's what you got to do if you're the Gate City Blue Devils. Get points quick, and they're on the board 4-0 early, Mark.
It's very important, Brady, for Graham to not let this score balloon early. They play a more deliberate pace of offense. If Gate City gets this score up to 6 to 8 points and they start smelling blood in the water, look out. Martin into the lane. Nice drive into the lane, and Graham is on the board with 6:08 remaining in the first quarter.
That's the answer you needed right there from your leader, Martin, right there, and that good way to respond for Gate City.
Here's the give and go. Mac McClung with the layup, and he's got his first points of the game. Martin driving, stopped. He traveled. Turnover. Graham.
Second turnover for the G-men. That's not what you want if you're Glenn Carlock in the game. You want to try to keep this Gate City crowd out of it. That's a heck of a 6-man back behind us. Gate City basketball.
Bradley Dean inbounds it to Mac McClung. To Irvin. George gives it to McClung in the lane. His shot, no, but he gets his own rebound and puts it up and in.
McClung's coming out like a man on a mission. He remembers that last time out against Graham.
And we have an over and back called on Curto, and it's another turnover for the G-men. And Gate City with the early upper hand, now 8-2. Knocked out of bounds, it'll stay with Gate City.
Yeah, got this 6-point lead. Graham doing everything they can wrong. Gate City doing everything they can right. McClung's been very active. He's got 4 quick.
I don't think Scott Vermillion could have drawn up a better start to this pressure-packed game between these two teams. And there's the first foul of the night. It will be called on Ty Gray.
Yeah, that's going to be Ty Gray's first personal, the first team foul for the G-men.
Ty Gray, his first.
Gate City will inbound.
Irvin stops, almost traveled. 3-point attempt by Mac McClung is no good. Graham saves it. McClung pressuring in the backcourt, but the G-men will get it across the timeline.
Almost disaster there for Graham, Mark.
Graham just looks out of sync right now, Brady. They just don't have any flow or rhythm to their offense at all.
They're trying to slow it down quite a bit. And like you mentioned, it's just disrupting the flow of the game.
Here's Martin. He drives into the lane. His floater is up off the glass, and it is good.
He's got all 4 for Gates. Graham, what a take there.
Long attempt by Compton is no good. Rebounded by the G-men. Into the lane it goes. A nice give and go down low. Garrett Dalton gets on the board.
That's what you got to do if you're Graham. Dalton had a heck of a game down there at Wise against this Gate City team. They need to get him involved early. Looks like they are going to.
McClung wanted to drive, was cut off. Double team in the corner on Irvin, and we're going to have a foul called. And that's going to be the second one on Ty Gray.
This number 32, Ty Gray, his second, team second.
And he's going to go to the bench quickly. In comes Chance Dawson.
Chance Dawson, Nick Owens, and Nick Miller are usually the first 3 off the bench for the G-men.
Here comes McClung.
Good defense played down low by Chance Dawson on McClung.
Almost a big play there by Dalton. Almost got it to go and the foul, but he's going to go to the line to shoot 2 and try to knot this one back up.
The first free throws of the night. So Graham gets behind Brady early at 8-2, but they've got it to 8-6. They have a chance to tie it up.
Yes, they absolutely do. Got back in the rhythm of things after a couple of fouls there by Gray. First shot good there for Dalton. But you know, you got this little bit of a home field advantage. You're within your home county. You got this Faithful over across the way from us, and feeding off of that, let's see if Dalton ties it up right here.
He does, and the game is knotted at 8. McClung sends it to Bradley Dean, who sends it to Irvin. And so far, Brady, Bradley Dean has not gotten open to spring one of those long threes.
Yeah, you know, he had a pretty good game against Graham the last time out. Graham shutting him down here early, but you know, they still got Irvin and McClung. Gate City got a plethora of good players, and there's a shot from Irwin. Rebound McClung, his shot is up, and it's in, Mark.
Gets a rebound and gets his 5th and 6 points of the game. 10-6, Gate City.
You know, McClung only needed 59 to break Caleb Tanner's record coming into tonight. He's off to a hot start.
There's a drive into the lane, contact but no call, and it was Chance Dawson with the turnover. Irvin thought about a 3. Drives the line, and the officials say his foot was on the line, and that is the first turnover of the night for Gate City.
Yeah, first turnover of the night for Gate City. Crucial time there. They only lead by 2. Steps on the thin out-of-bounds line here at Tazewell Middle School. It's going to be Graham basketball.
Martin sends it back to Drew Baker.
Baker playing with a little bit of a collarbone injury. He got injured in that matchup with Gate City. Said after the game with Martinsville, he's about 80%.
There's a turnover for Graham, a 5-second call, and Chance Dawson. Good defense played by Gate City.
Yeah, that's the 4th turnover for Graham. Gate City playing as tight as a lock right now, and let's see if they can answer right now.
This is McClung getting a pick by John Compton and getting his 7th and 8th points of the game.
The Georgetown the future Georgetown Hoya lights it up right there. He can shoot wherever he wants to, and if you give him that shot, he's going to knock it down.
We're going to have the first foul called for Gate City. It will be on number 12, Andrew Sharp.
Checking in for Graham is going to be number 20, Nick Owens, the 5'7" freshman. He's averaging 4 points a game.
And we're going to have another turnover from the G-men. And that is not what their coach, Glenn Carlock Jr., wanted to see. One of the keys to the game tonight, Brady, in addition to what we showed earlier, I believe for Graham, is they've got to handle the ball cleanly. They cannot turn the ball over. They've done that so far.
Yeah, absolutely. More turnovers, gets the ball in the hands of that young man. And there's another big shot from McClung. He's red hot, Mark. I believe that's 11.
11 points for Mac McClung. And the lead goes back up now to 15-8. That is the largest lead of the game.
Yeah, Martin working the ball around the perimeter here for the G-men. They're slowing it down, trying to cool off the Blue Devils' pitchforks.
And that's smart strategy for Graham. They need to slow this game down. They don't want to get in an up-tempo affair with Gate City.
Martin working on that defense right now, Mark, but nothing going.
And Mac McClung playing some pretty tight defense out deep as well. Driving the lane nicely with Drew Baker going around Mac McClung.
Yeah, that's a really nice take there by Baker for his first 2 of the night. We mentioned up earlier, he's a little banged up. Nice take.
3-point attempt by McClung is off target. This is Drew Baker driving into the lane, off the rim, no. Rebounded by Martin. He is fouled by Irvin.
I'm going to tell you, nice way to lead the Calgary there by Drew Baker. That young man, very impressive for a junior. He's going to be the leader of this team in a couple years. But Martin gets the foul, and he's going to go to the line to shoot 2. He's averaging 24 a night, Mark, and he's one of the best players in Southwest Virginia. You hear a lot about Irvin, you hear a lot about McClung, but Darren Martin down the road in Bluefield, he's pretty daggone good.
He may play in the shadow of these 2 players, but he is, as you say, Brady, one of the very best in all of Southwest Virginia, the unquestioned leader of the Graham offense.
Absolutely. When he's clicking, the Graham team usually clicks. He's been a lot of fun to watch. This is the 3rd time I've got to see him this season, and he's looking good.
This to cut the lead to 3, and he does. McClung sends it to Vermillion. Back out to Irvin. Irvin holding the ball, looks back to his coach. He barks out decisions.
Gate City might hold for the last shot here. We're under 20 seconds.
Vermillion, 6'5", a good ball handler for a player his size. And now with 7 seconds left, they'll start the offense. Here is McClung driving, cut off. Guarded by 3, up and in at the buzzer. 13 points for Mac McClung in the first quarter of play, 17-12. Gate City leads it at the end of the first period. Well, certainly, Brady, no disappointment here tonight with Mac McClung. People have lined up at venues all over Southwest Virginia and in Tennessee, sometimes getting in line 2 hours before the game just to watch Mac McClung play. We've not seen any of those highlight reel dunks so far, but before the game is over, we'll probably see at least one or two.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got 13 quick points here, and you mentioned he's drawing all these people in. I went and stood in line at the Arby's Classic down in Bristol, Tennessee at Viking Hall. Didn't get in. It was the first night of the tournament. That's unheard of for that tournament. They're lined up around the building at the Dedman Center at Radford University to see this young man. They're having to turn people away. I'm sure they've had to turn people away all year at Gate City High School. I talked to a Gate City fan in the pregame. He said, man, I had to start taking off of work early just to get into the high school to watch Mac McClung and the Blue Devils. And, you know, I'm sure there's some people in here that took vacation days to get here to Tazewell Middle School just to watch the high flyer and his Gate City Blue Devils. They're out to a quick start here early. Lead Graham 17-12. This one is worth the price of admission.
And then some.
Absolutely.
And kudos to the guys out in the parking lot, Brady. This is probably the most attended event maybe in the history of Tazewell Middle School. And they were doing a great job directing everybody, getting everybody into this gymnasium.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely the biggest event ever to be held at this middle school.
Baker is guarded by McClung.
Owens, that's a freshman getting big minutes in here for the G-men.
We're not seeing Dalton doing as much of the high ball, high post screen. And look at that footwork by Drew Baker. Wow.
I think he's going to get called for a travel there, Mark. Unbelievable turn of events. He crosses somebody up, and Andrew Sharp hits the deck, but what's it worth? They turn the ball over, get it right back in the hands of Mac McClung.
Figuratively speaking, there were two broken ankles on the floor on that possession for the G-men, but they'd get no points out of it. Here's McClung from three-point range, and he is 2 for 2 from behind the arc.
That's what a player right there. That's 16 now for McClung.
16 of the 20. And here's a traveling call on Garrett Dalton. Not the guy that you want handling the basketball at 6'5". He's more of your big defender down low and your rebounder and your high post passer. That's not where the coaches want him handling the basketball.
Yeah, that's the 6th turnover for the G-men there. They're shooting themselves in the foot, but they get a turnover.
There's a second turnover for Gate City. Martin's going to drive, and what a pretty drive it is. Knifing through gray jerseys to bring his team to within 6.
He's got 8.
Give and go, McClung puts it up, and good.
18 quick ones there for McClung. He's feeling it tonight. He's not forgot what happened at the Pryor Center down at UVA Wise. He's on a mission.
An 8-point lead now for Gate City. That's the biggest of the game, and here's another turnover. Drew Baker left early.
You know, it seems like Graham has forgot the fundamentals. You know, they always preach to you in high school sports, college sports, even professional sports, I'm sure. You got to do the small things right before you can do the big things right. Graham getting a little carried away. Better be careful. They might walk themselves out of the ball game.
Here's a give and go. Irvin goes in, puts the shot up. It's good, but it's going to be waved off. It's going to be a charging call on Irvin.
Nice work there by the 6'5" senior Garrett Dalton to plant his feet and cause a crucial turnover there for the Gate City Blue Devils. Graham needs to respond right here with 6:16 left in the game. First half, pardon me.
And that is Zach Irvin's second personal foul. Down it goes to Dalton down low. Sends it back to Curto. Able to save it is Nick Owens, but here's another turnover for the G-men. But it's thrown right back to Graham. This pace right now, Brady, I don't think favors Graham High School.
Both teams kind of sloppy right now.
Here's Irvin with a rebound. Tries to go coast to coast, and he's going to be fouled by Drew Baker.
Yeah, that's going to be Baker's first of the contest, I do believe. Third team foul for Graham.
14 fouls for Gate City, 2 of which are on Zach Irvin. 3 for the G-men. Irvin drives the left side. Foot slid. spots an open teammate for a three. That was John Compton, no good. And the G-men with the rebound.
Long possession there for Gate City, comes up empty-handed. Martin's going to lay it up.
Martin in the lane, and I think they're going to call goaltending on Mac McClung. Well, he showed off there, Brady, that 47-inch vertical leap.
Yeah, he took off right there and almost jumped out of the gym, but arrived a little too late. Basket's good for the G-men. They cut it to 6.
McClung gets it over to Dean. Dean drives. Gets it to George, and here's another turnover. Gate City's fourth. Martin takes it in, 4-2. And we're going to have a timeout called right there by Scott Vermillion as the G-men have drawn to within 22-18.
Yeah, Martin with 12 points here, Mark. He scored all but 6 for the Graham G-men. It's been the Darren Martin, it's been the Mac McClung show early, and that's what we expected. The two best players from around the area, and they're putting on a show in front of almost 4,000 here within Tazewell Middle School.
Mac McClung with 6 two-pointers and 2 three-pointers so far in the early going. You can see there on the screen that nice fadeaway. He has got such a repertoire, Brady. He can hit it from three-point range. He can drive. He can dish off. He can obviously slam dunk it. Anyone that follows Southwest Virginia basketball has probably watched on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere where there have been video replays of Mac McClung's exploits around the rim.
And you know, you've not only got to be a Southwest Virginia native, took off and been a national phenomenon. We've got
ESPN Sports Center.
ESPN, we've got people like Drake who's asked for his jersey. He's blown up, and it's really been impressive. Definitely the best basketball player in the history of Southwest Virginia since Calvin Talford was jamming down at Castlewood before he went to ETSU.
Irvin almost traveled. McClung drives around, dishes it off. To Compton, back to McClung, another three-pointer for Mac McClung.
That's 21.
Gate City has 25. Mac McClung has 21.
And you know, he only needed 59 to break the career record. He's well on his way, Mark.
He may do it tonight.
Yes, he might.
Graham trailing by 7. Their biggest deficit was 8 just moments ago. And they're slowing it down, which is probably a pretty smart strategy for them. Martin puts up a 3. And that is good.
3-point basket, Darren Martin.
Just when you think, Brady, that Gate City might put their foot on the gas pedal and put some separation between themselves and Graham, Graham answers.
And that's what they're going to have to do to stay in this game. And, you know, that sounds kind of cliche, but that's what they need to do. Watch out right here.
Well, he is human. But look at this. Defensively, he hangs around after the miss, taps it out of bounds, almost makes an incredible play along the baseline.
You know, he's an athlete, Mark. He comes from a long line of athletes. His dad played football at Virginia Tech in the early 90s. His sister played soccer at Florida State before transferring to Tennessee. It comes from a long line of athletes in that part of the world, and he might be the best one of the family.
I believe a couple of other relatives played professional hockey. There's a cousin in the family who is a rapper.
Yeah, Riff Raff.
Riff Raff. There's just talent all around the McClung family.
And I believe he's got some cousins or uncles, one that played professional baseball.
This is Drew Baker getting it over to Nick Owens. Comment below and let us know where you're watching tonight's game from. And I would dare say, Brady, there's probably people watching somewhere up in the D.C. area that are wanting to see what that future Hoya looks like down in Southwest Virginia.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the Georgetown faithful are fired up. You know, he broke Allen Iverson's record for most points in a season. There's some more points for McClung. I believe that's 23. But Patrick Ewing picks him up, the former Hoya legend. Breaks Iverson's record, the former Hoya legend. Maybe this is the third member of the trio.
This is Martin getting it for an open three-point look, short by Drew Baker.
McClung climbs the ladder and gets the board before a foul's called. And we're going to see who that one's against. We're getting fired up. It's going to be on number 52, Garrett Dalton. That's his first. for Graham, the fourth team one for the G-men.
Nearing the 2-minute mark remaining in the second quarter, 27-21 Gate City. Irvin to Compton, back to Irvin. Gets it to McClung. Nice pass by McClung down low, but it is blocked.
Nice
that was
hustle
John
by McClung.
Sally with the block, and we're going to have a turnover. That's the 5th for Gate City.
Nice hustle there by McClung to save that one, and you know, he gets it back out to a teammate and still turns it over.
Nice block by Garrett Dalton. Baker dribbling between the circles. Over on the wing, that is Nick Owens. Here's another turnover by the G-men as Dean on a break uses his body to shield off of the defender. And Bradley Dean with his 3rd and 4th points of the game.
Nice coast-to-coast take there by Dean, and here's another turnover for Graham.
Saved nicely by Johnson. Here's Dean again driving, and he's going to be fouled, and he's going to go to the line.
Yeah, let's see who that one's on. I believe that's going to be on Dalton again. That's going to be his second.
Very quickly, he picks up a second.
It's going to be 5 team fouls for the G-men. Sends Dean to the line. And he's a pretty good shooter, so I can bet he's done well here throughout the season.
His first is nothing but net.
Chance Dawson's going to check back in here for the G-men. Out comes Garrett Dalton. Dawson, a 6'2" sophomore. He's averaging 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist a contest. And he's going to come in to make up for some of those fouls assessed to Dalton.
And Dean is 2 for 2 for Gate City. They now stretch their lead to the largest of the night at 31-21.
You know, Mark, it seems like when Gate City starts to pull away, Graham comes right back. Let's see if they can put their foot back in the door before McClung and the boys shut it shut.
Looks like a little bit of a matchup zone being played by Gate City defensively.
Graham looks like they perhaps just want to take it into halftime.
Martin's three-pointer is no good. Rebounded by Sally. And with 40 seconds left, let's see if Gate City tries to take some air out of the balloon.
You could about guarantee if they hold for the last shot, who's going to get it.
I don't know if I'd bet the mortgage, but you could probably bet a Ben Franklin on it and be pretty safe. This is Irvin. Deep in the corner, 16 seconds remaining. He gets it to McClung. 8 seconds left. McClung starts to drive. He's going to put up a 3. No good. Back up and in by John Compton on a terrific one-handed rebound putback to give the Blue Devils a 33-21 lead going into halftime. You're watching Gate City and Graham on the NFHS Network. 33-21. Gate City leading Graham at halftime in the 2018 VHSL Class 2 boys basketball semifinal for the right to represent the western side of the Commonwealth of Virginia in the state championship game next weekend. This coming weekend, I should say. Well, Brady, here it is. This is where Mac McClung broke the record. The single season scoring record. One that was held by, well, some guy, what was his name? Allen Iverson, I think?
Allen Iverson, I absolutely believe that. That was back on February 21st, and Iverson had 958 in a season, and there we go.
This is brought to you by ballislife.com. This is the game. You're watching highlights of Mac McClung breaking the Virginia single season scoring record.
Yeah, and we talked about how just good of a ball player he was, and we talked about the impact he's had on Southwest Virginia. And you think of all the good players that have come through the area throughout the years, and Mac McClung's definitely at the top of that list. I mean, you have like Calvin Talford that played at Castlewood, and then he played at ETSU, and they sold that dome out for many years. And, you know, Council had a guy named Brad Knuckles who put up 2,000 points, I believe.
There we go. One of his signature highlight dunks. And Brady, one thing you see when you watch this tape, he's not just a good offensive player. He plays pretty good defense.
Yeah, he's got the all-around package. He's a good defender. He can take it to the rack. He can shoot mid-range. He can shoot long range. And, you know, that's what they really look for at the Division I level. If you have the whole package, I remember when I was growing up in high school, plenty of players, they could take it to the rim and jam, or they just developed an outside game. And, you know, if you don't really have the whole package to go to the next level, you're not really going to get many looks. But this guy, it was pretty impressive. McClung, he was once upon a time committed to Rutgers. He decommits. He was such a need that Patrick Ewing wanted that he flew to Gate City from Washington, D.C. the day after to visit with Mac McClung, and that was enough for McClung to say, you know what, I want to be a Hoya.
And if I'm not mistaken, Brady, at that game, Mac McClung scored 64 points in that game with his future head coach watching. That's a pretty good audition, wouldn't you say, getting 64?
Yeah, you know, he's put up some big numbers. He had 64, I believe it was in the state tournament last year. It might have been a regional tournament, but that's a pretty good audition. But McClung, he's done pretty daggone well, and it's really cool to see all these highlights. I mean, every night that McClung's playing, you can expect a national outlet to put some highlights up, and that's just, as somebody who's been born and raised in this area, that's really unheard of. I mean, in a place that eats, sleeps, and breathes football, it's pretty cool to see a guy take it to the rim and jam, and people on sports are going to be like, oh, this McClung kid from Gate City. That's pretty daggone cool.
My understanding, Brady, I've not seen pictures of it. It's my understanding that the basement of the McClung household has been turned into a de facto gymnasium to allow McClung to practice in any sort of weather. And the team itself will sometimes hold workouts. I don't know if those are formal, maybe more informal, but they hold workouts in the basement of the McClung residence.
That's pretty neat. I mean, his family does pretty well. I believe his father's a Commonwealth attorney in Scott County, Virginia here, but that really is going to build your team chemistry. And not only is that going to make McClung as good as he's been, but that builds a team chemistry. I mean, when you're probably informal, like you mentioned, in the basement of your buddy's house, you're going to get close with some guys more so than you would in the middle school or high school gym at Gate City. So that probably is the best thing for their team chemistry. But I didn't know that until you just mentioned it. But I wish I had a gymnasium in my basement.
Who wouldn't if you like to play basketball?
Absolutely.
And you can just see watching this tape, Brady, that there is a chemistry between Mac McClung, Zach Irvin, and his teammates. Yes, he's the quote-unquote star of the show, but he won't hesitate to distribute if he sees a teammate that has an open shot. He'll pass the ball off, he'll rebound, he'll reach in, create steals. We almost saw him along the baseline towards the latter end of that second period, almost made a terrific play along the baseline. He's the total package.
Yeah, he absolutely is. He's a great ball player, and like you said, he's got good chemistry with his teammates. Bristol Herald-Courier, they put out an article a couple of weeks ago. Him, Mac McClung, Zach Irvin, they played on an AAU basketball team together, along with James Mitchell, who played football at Union. He's going to Virginia Tech to play football, was a four-star recruit. He was on that AAU team. And then a trio of baseball players from Abingdon that are going to the Division I level to play baseball. So just think of all the athletes that were on that AAU team. But this team chemistry has come from many years back. They've been playing basketball, and you know, there ain't much to do around here. So get in the gym, develop your game, and that's what McClung's done.
Well, Brady, you're from this area. You can maybe give some perspective. Gate City is a 2 square mile location. that's tucked away in the far southwest corner of Virginia, far away from many of the population centers like Roanoke, like Winchester, like Northern Virginia, over in the Tidewater area, Richmond. Tell us what it means to a community like this where, I don't know, Brady, I don't know who turned off the lights tonight in Gate City because everybody from town is here tonight. What does it mean to have a player like this that brings this kind of positive attention to this small area of the Commonwealth?
Oh, it's huge. Gate City's been known as a football town forever. I mean, I remember going down there in high school and playing Gate City in football, and those people eat, breathe, and sleep it. And it's like I saw on a little short documentary of McClung, you know, they're not used to this basketball success. I mean, yeah, this is their 9th appearance in the state semis. They had Josh Shoemaker back in the day do well.
We're seeing right there, Brady, that is where Mac McClung broke the record. You can see all of his teammates surrounding him, and appears to be maybe just a little bit emotional on Mac McClung's part. That's certainly understandable.
Absolutely. And we go back just to talking about Gate City and what it means to them. They're not a historically great basketball school. I mean, we talked about Shoemaker. He was the last D1 athlete out there. He played at Wake Forest when they won the NIT in 2000, and then in the NCAA tournament when they clinched the berth there in 2001. But that's a big deal right now for Gate City. They got the most popular high school basketball player in the state of Virginia, and he's made a lot of noise. He's made a lot of noise for Gate City. He's made a lot of noise for the people of Southwest Virginia, and that's really cool, especially in a place, like we mentioned, where football eats, sleeps, and breathes everything. I mean, when you got McClung, you think about the basketball players, you think of the Talfords, the Knuckles, you think about all kinds of good basketball players. But McClung definitely probably at the top of that list. But there's been a lot of good ball players, and it's going to be interesting to see how his career pans out through the rest of the evening tonight, and if he's lucky enough to go to the state championship at the Siegel Center on Friday. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Well, Brady, when we go through the scoring summary for Gate City, it's a pretty easy effort on my part to do that. Bradley Dean has 4 points. Zach Irvin has 2. Mac McClung has 27. I don't know if I've ever seen a first-half stat sheet like that before with so much points invested in just one individual.
Yeah, 27. He just had 24 against Radford, and, you know, his season high is 47, and he got that against Lee, Pulaski, and Abingdon. So he's well on his way to that mark, and, you know, he only needed 59 to claim the Virginia High School League all-time scoring record for a career. That's currently held by Caleb Tanner. He's got 2,770. He was a former Floyd County Buffalo, and, you know, him and his Radford Highlanders just punched their ticket to the big dance.
Well, all I will say is this, folks. If anyone is watching in the Richmond area, anywhere within 100 miles of Richmond, you may want to get a ticket to the VHSL Class II championship game at the Siegel Center coming up this weekend. It'll be the last chance to see Mac McClung as a high school basketball player. If his team is successful here tonight, they've got a 12-point lead going into the second half of play.
And we talked about the stats for Gate City. For Graham, Darren Martin's got 15, Drew Baker's got 2, and Garrett Dalton has 4. A big number that stands out for the G-men. They've turned the ball over 10 times. Let's see, they aren't going to be able to do that here in the second half. They got a 12-point deficit. They got to get back in this thing.
And it will be Gate City that will inbound the basketball. McClung has it. Gets it back to Bradley Dean. Who gets it to Irvin?
Gate City slowing things down to start this second half.
Andrew Sharp gets it back to McClung. Spots up. His jumper no good. Zach Irvin has it knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with Gate City.
Yeah, they're going to say that one hit the thigh of Emil Kurto, the 6-foot senior. It's going to remain Blue Devil basketball.
Zach Irvin wants to go baseline, gets cut off. Gets it back to McClung.
Graham covering him up.
And give credit to the G-men. They're not letting Bradley Dean get free for any long-range three-pointers. We've seen him make them effortlessly from 25 feet away. Here's McClung driving with a great dish off to his teammate, Zach Irvin, and he shows there his passing ability.
Nice give and go there by McClung to his counterpart, Irving. Both those guys are going to be playing at the NCAA Division I level here in a couple years. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Martin to Baker. Over to Curto. Martin thought about an open three. Try to work it down low to Dalton. Pass deflected by McClung. Drive into the lane, up, and almost in by Emil Curto. And we're going to have a foul called.
Blocking foul against number 15, Drew.
On number 15, Drew Vermillion.
That's going to be Vermillion's first personal foul, first team foul of the half for Gate City.
And he misses the first. A little strong.
Yeah, you see the distaste there on Curto's face after missing that one. The senior, a lot of frustration. That kid, he plays with a lot of passion. You can see him get flustered rather easily at times. But he gets that second one to go.
It is a 13-point lead for Gate City, 35-22. McClung pulls up, drains another one.
What a shot there by McClung.
Martin, I think Brady's going to have to put this team on his back and will them back into it. He misses that one, rebounded by McClung.
He absolutely is going to have to. That's their best player. McClung, he's got 29 right now, and he is hot. And Martin, he's the guy for Graham. Needs to get something going. Got a wide open three
by Sally. That's just not his shot, and he wisely doesn't try it.
McClung looks like he wants to do something here, Mark.
McClung on Martin. Now there's Dean with the open look. Too strong off the back. Rebounded, though, by Andrew Sharp.
Second chance opportunity here for the Blue Devils.
Vermillion is going to hold the ball. They're going to force Graham to come out and play defense and not pack it in.
Much to the pleasure of these Gate City faithful.
McClung, too strong with a three, gets his own rebound, and he's going to be fouled.
Picks up the foul there after he misses, chases his own shot, gets the rebound. And Ty Gray, that's going to be his third personal foul. And the first for Graham here in the second half. A lot of hustle there by Mac McClung there, Mark.
Dean will inbound it to Irvin. Back out. Open threes on the perimeter not being taken, but here is Dean with one of those long straightaway threes off the rim. No.
Man, he shot that one all the way from Rye Cove.
I have seen him on tape, Brady, make him from 25 feet out. And there's Curto getting a roll along the baseline. That cuts the lead to 13, 37-24.
That's Curto's first field goal from the floor. And Graham coming out in a little bit of a half-court press.
McClung pulls up, and that is an air ball. You don't see that very often from Mac McClung.
No, you don't. Here comes
Martin. Drives into the lane, puts it up and in. And we're going to have a timeout called by Glenn Carlock of the G-Men.
Martin's got 17, and just like we mentioned in that first half, right when Gate City looks like they're about to slam the door in Graham's face, here come the G-Men. They got their foot in the door, and they're ready to do some more battle here in this second half. It'll be interesting what Coach Carlock tells these guys in the huddle right now.
And I believe if you're Coach Carlock, what you're telling your team right now is, look, we've got 4 minutes and some change left in the third quarter. Let's win the next 4 minutes. Let's get this down to maybe a 5, 6, 7 point deficit going into the fourth quarter, and then let's just lay it all on the line. But let's win the next 4 minutes. Absolutely.
You just got to start out, like I mentioned very often on football broadcasts, you got to start the second half or even every quarter 0-0. And that's what he's going to ask for the next 4 minutes.
Full court pressure being applied by Graham. Beaten, though, by Gate City. Irvin takes it in, and he will be fouled on his drive to the basket.
That's against number 23, Emil Curto.
Yeah, that one's going to go on Emil Curto. That's going to be his third personal foul. And, man, he whacked Irvin right there on his way to the bucket. That's a second team foul for Graham here in the half. But, you know, Curto, he's playing with 3 fouls. Carlock, you don't know what you want to do with that senior leader. Irvin gets the first one to go there.
38-26, Gate City.
Gets them both.
39-26.
Here comes Jonathan Sally back into the game for Gate City.
Well, here's the trivia question for this evening. Mac McClung recently broke, as we said, Allen Iverson's 25-year-old single-season scoring record of 948 points in the state of Virginia. The trivia question is, who held that record before Allen Iverson? We'll give you that answer here in a few minutes. Here's Martin, rattling home a 3, and the senior is putting the G-men on his back, trying to will them back into the game.
Big shot there by number 12. He's feeling it right now.
And it looks like the Gate City offense, Brady, they like to play the up-tempo, quick kind of game. They're actually slowing this down. Almost a turnover. Here's McClung dishing for a wide open layup by John Sally.
You can't draw it up much better than that. McClung's going to be doing that for at least a few more years at the next level. And you see right there why he is as good as advertised.
Bradley Dean knocks it out of bounds. It will stay with the G-men. The officials huddle, share a word. It'll be inbounded, by Emil Curto. There's John Sally. Boy, they've stepped up their defensive pressure.
A lot of hustle there by Gate City. Graham want to try for the 3rd time to get it inbounds here, Mark.
Martin has it. Sends it over to Baker. Down low it goes to Garrett Dalton, and he is fouled down low. Let's see who gets pegged with it.
Yeah, they're going to hit Irvin with that one, Mark.
For his the third foul for Zach Irvin. So Scott Vermillion's going to have to decide, does he leave Zach Irvin in the game, or does he risk him picking up a 4th foul? He is obviously very integral to their defense.
Dalton's first shot hits every part of the rim before hitting the bottom of the net. Cuts this lead to 11.
I took the words out of my mouth. That basketball touched every single bit of that cylinder. And the lead is cut to 10. 41-31. Full court pressure by the G-men. Broken by Gate City. Compton gets it to Irvin. Irvin driving. Gets it to McClung. Back to Irvin. Cross court, dangerous pass, but Dean is able to corral it. McClung wants to drive, pulls up from the left elbow. His shot off the rim, no. And Graham is hanging around in this game, Brady. They're not going away.
Yes, they are. This could be a big possession for the G-men. The freshman, big shot there, Mark.
Huge shot for the G-men. I said in that last time out, Brady, they want to win the next 4 minutes. They've won the first 2 of those 4.
What a big shot there by Nick Owens, the freshman. Hitting a big 3 in the state semifinals. You can't make that up. And you can't make that layup up either.
A nice finger roll by Irvin. And we're going to have a timeout called by Gate City. Well, Brady, we've said it a couple times in this game. Just when you think Gate City might shift into 4th gear and just pull away, Graham chips away, chips away, chips away, and they're not going away.
Yeah, both these teams, they got that blue-collar mentality, working real hard on the boards, on the floor, at the bucket. And Graham, you know, they're just trying to scrap and crawl their way back in this one. They're only down 9.
Well, here are the trivia question responses. 14% said David Robinson, 14% Ralph Sampson, 71% Moses Malone. Nobody went with Del Curry.
Yeah, kind of surprised by that one.
Four pretty famous names, and the winner, Moses Malone.
That's what I was thinking myself.
A 9-point lead for Gate City. And a three-pointer here would draw Graham to within 6. Moses Malone set that Virginia High School single-season record in 1974, completing a 2-season undefeated run with Petersburg High School, about a half hour or so from the capital city of the Commonwealth in Richmond.
Went on to a long NBA career. Graham with a lot of ball reversal around the perimeter right here, Mark. They're trying to get something going. Here goes Martin.
And Martin is going to travel with the basketball and turn it over.
Not what you want right there for Graham. Big opportunity there to cut this to 7. But much to the pleasure of the folks behind us. And man, Mark, if you look to our left, they're still packed in that door down there.
Well, a few people have managed to sit down. I think they just simply got tired of standing. But right behind us on the Gate City side, just about everyone's still on their feet. Drive into the lane by Dean. Up off the glass. Good.
That may have been the toughest shot of the game so far, Mark. He had 4 bodies crash on him right in the paint, and he still was able to lay it up and in. Gate City takes an 11-point lead.
This is Curto dribbling. Gets it out front. A nice dish to Martin. Had a three-pointer. Instead, he'll take the two-pointer. Rebounded by Garrett Dalton, and up and in by Garrett Dalton.
Big play there by the 6'5 senior, showing up in clutch time.
Sally will wait for help in the way of McClung. He drives. Ball strip taken away. Here's Martin 3-on-1 for Graham. Martin will take it all the way up and in. 45-38. It was a 14-point lead for Gate City. Graham has cut it in half. Here's McClung. Blocked. But he will be fouled on the dunk attempt.
He got hacked on the way up, and you know, Graham, I'd give that foul up too, other than getting put on a poster. But I thought that he might have had that one.
Well, the Graham faithful clearly do not agree with that particular call. As McClung hits, well, I have this correctly, Brady, that's his first free throw of the night.
Yes, it is. Now, I think that might be his 30th point. Gets the second.
The lead goes back to 9. Graham will hold it with 22 seconds remaining in the third period of play. We'll see if they maybe try to get Dalton down low. That's exactly what they started to do. A nice pass outside, an open three-point look by Drew Baker is good. And it is a 6-point lead, 47-41 as we go to the final period of play. Well, Brady, every now and then I get something right. With 4 minutes left in that third quarter and some change, Glenn Carlock called timeout. And I said, if I'm in that huddle, I'm going to tell my team, look, guys, let's just win the next 4 minutes, get it down to about a 6, 7, 8-point differential going into the fourth quarter or maybe into the fourth quarter. Well, here it is, 47-41. If that is what Carlock told his team, they have done exactly that.
Yeah, they've executed that plan to a T. They were only down 6. They were trailing pretty big, I believe, by 14 at one point. But 47-41, Gate City is up here. Don't leave your screen wherever you may be. This is about to be a heck of a fourth quarter. There's nobody leaving to go to the bathroom in here. Everybody's glued. They're giving that 50-50 drawing away right now, and whoever wins it in here is going to be very happy.
They're going to have plenty of money in their pocket. Well, now might be the time, folks, to go get that extra soda out of the refrigerator or get that second bag of potato chips, because the last 8 minutes of this one could be very, very interesting.
McClung with 31, I do believe. That's pretty impressive. Only needed 59 coming in. I mean, we very well could see a 19-point quarter here.
A 6-point differential as we get started. It was a 16-point Graham victory 10 days ago. Here's another open three. Off the front, no, but rebounded by Graham, and they'll get another chance.
Big board there by Ty Gray, Mark. had some foul troubles early, but that's a big rebound to start this fourth quarter.
Drew Baker has had a very, very good game tonight for the G-men.
Martin thought about it right there, Mark. He's the guy that the G-men want the ball in. He's drawing two right here. Somebody else is open. Tough take.
Nice shot by Martin. Well, you can tell who the leader of the G-men is, and the leader came through there. And this lead is down to 4. Now it's back up to 6.
Big shot there by McClung, 33.
That is his 9th two-pointer of the evening. A 6-point lead, 7 minutes even remaining in the game. And here is a throwaway by Drew Baker. He was trying to hit Martin in the far corner.
That's a 12th turnover tonight for Graham, and you know that was one of the keys to the game. Don't turn the ball over and lead to Gate City points. They got a 6-point lead. You got to think if they don't turn it over 12 times, what would this be?
Here is Irvin with a nice give and go. He has 10 points.
Man, Irvin around the rim, he makes it look so easy, Mark. He's going to be a Division I program's dream.
Here's another turnover. Goes right to McClung. And McClung is going to be fouled by, looked like it was Drew Baker, but will get tagged with that one.
You knew what was coming on that fast break, Mark, and so did the G-men. And Baker, he's going to get called with the foul. That's going to be his second personal 14 foul for the Graham G-men.
Well, the few people that are sitting to my left from our vantage point here tonight, they got up on their feet. They thought they were going to see one of those highlight reel slam dunks right there by Mac McClung, but fouled to take that possibility away.
Let's see what he does right here.
Dean is foregoing some of those open three-point looks.
They got an 8-point lead. You think you'd want to add some cushion. Irvin in some trouble. McClung open right up there on the elbow.
Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Gate City.
6:13 remains in this one. And it's been worth every bit to get in here.
Tickets to get into this game were $10. Brady, I would have paid 3 times that much.
I absolutely would as well.
The place for high school sports. Basketball playoffs are here. Watch live postseason and championship action in over 40 states on the NFHS network. Here's McClung driving, and are they going to say he traveled? No, they're going to say he was fouled. They're going to call it a continuation. Looked like he may have taken a step, but instead he gets the bucket and a chance to make.
They're going to give him the bucket.
Play.
They're going to give him the bucket there. That gets his total up to 35, I do believe. And he's going to shoot one more.
I've got it at 41, Brady, but we're in somewhat cramped quarters here. I'm not sure I've got the scorekeeping correct. Let's just say he simply got a bunch.
Yes, he does. And another.
And he makes the free throw. He's a perfect 3 of 3 from the free throw line. The lead back up to 11. The G-men had cut it to 6. Curto thought about a three-pointer. Open again, just simply not going to take it. Now the third time. Is it the charm? No. High off the back of the rim. Contested rebound. We're going to have a foul called. Let's see who they call it on. That will be on McClung. And that is his first.
Chance Dawson checking in for the G-men.
First foul for McClung. They got 4 on the scoreboard. I don't know if that one's right, but
that's not correct. He's only got 1. It'll be Emil Curto, the 6-foot senior forward, to inbound. And he's got to hurry. Deep it goes. And we're going to have an overplay, I think, on McClung. And that is the call, so he's picked up 2 fouls within 30 seconds.
That's his second. Graham fans loving that one. Thankfully for the Gate City faithful, the scoreboard was wrong just a few seconds ago.
Probably a few people whose hearts skipped a beat wearing blue here tonight when that went up. This is Curto. Getting it to Baker. Over to Martin. Thought about a three. Now he'll jack it up. Contested rebound. Here's another three by Drew Baker, and he hits it.
That's a big shot there by Drew Baker, the junior. Finding the bottom of the bucket. He averages 7 a contest. He's got 8 here tonight, Mark.
He's got a nice stroke. So it's an 8-point lead with 5:07 remaining. Gate City leading Graham 54-56. I don't know, Brady, how the championship game in Richmond is going to live up to this kind of atmosphere, but you never know. Siegel Center is a pretty special place.
Yes, it absolutely is. A lot of championships won there.
Tomorrow night on Facebook, the number 3 team in the country, University High School, takes on Tampa Catholic in the Florida 8A semifinals live at 6 p.m. on the NFHS Network Hoops page.
Yeah, it's been an electric atmosphere here, and I can't imagine it getting any better. Maybe I'm a little biased, but this has been a lot of fun tonight.
Well, you've got 2 relatively small communities that have really embraced these basketball teams of theirs, and that's evident here tonight. Here's Irvin, sends it to Andrew Sharp, who misses the short shot, rebounded by Graham.
Big board there by the sophomore Dawson.
They trail by 8. Under 5 minutes now remaining in the game. This is Chance Dawson. And we're going to have a foul called, I think.
That's against number 12, Andrew Sharp.
It'll be Andrew Sharp's second personal foul of the evening.
What a ball game.
It has not disappointed. It may be slightly disappointing right now for the Graham faithful, but they're certainly within striking distance, 8 points away. This is a team, Brady, Gate City, that averaged 30.8 points margin of victory over their Virginia opponents on the year.
Pretty daggone impressive in that Mountain 7 conference.
And that's impressive. Martin going up against 3 gray jerseys and sending it through the cylinder.
6-point lead, Gate City.
Dean wanted to feed Irvin, knocked away by Darren Martin.
(54-48) right here. 6-point lead is Gate City's.
Underneath the basket it goes to McClung, up and in.
43.
That's his 11th two-pointer of the night. And the lead goes back to 8, 56-48. Martin, three-pointer, off the front of the rim, rebounded by McClung. He's the leading rebounder tonight with 6 for Gate City.
43 points. Here he goes.
Driving on Martin. Up he goes. Wanted to get the finger roll in close. No. Martin going coast to coast. And we're going to have a blocking foul called down low from John Compton.
Yeah, right there. Big shot by Martin. He gets the bucket to go. And he's going to get a foul shot. The chance for the three-point play. Big opportunity here for Martin to cut this lead to 5, Mark, with 3:38 left in the game.
What a game, Brady. No. Rebounded by Irvin. The lead will stay at 6. 3:35 remaining.
2-possession ball game. Irvin in trouble.
Dean gets it back out to Compton. They get it to McClung. Guarded closely by Martin. Tried to get a screen from Sally. And we're going to have an overplay on Chance Dawson.
Yeah, and it's going to send McClung to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. That's going to be the first foul on Chance Dawson. It's going to be the 16th foul. Pardon me, that might be the 17th foul on Graham. No, I think it is.
Already in the bonus is Gate City. Graham has 16 fouls. Now the officials are going to, I believe, come over and check.
They are going to check. Might be an inbounds play, and it is. Scoreboard's right.
Scoreboard is right. Sally gets it back to Irvin. And Gate City's going to take a little bit of the air out of the ball. They're going to force Graham to come out and play them to try to create some open space for Mac McClung to create.
That was the matchup we've seen all season.
But Darren Martin is doing a good job of defending McClung.
Curto tries to get a foul called there.
We're going to have a foul called. Looked like it was away from the ball. It's going to be on Chance Dawson.
Yes, it is, and they're going to send McClung to the line to shoot the 1-and-1 now.
So each team in the bonus. And McClung will try to go 4 for 4, and he does. I didn't want to give him the commentator jinx on that one, Brady.
I believe that's 44 now for McClung.
$45.
Here come the G-men trying to answer.
58-50, 2:40 remaining. And the G-men need a couple of three-pointers or at least a couple of quick two-pointers. They'll send it down low to their big man. Garrett Dalton, he sends the feed out to Emil Curto. It rattles around, in and good. 4-3. That cuts the lead to 5.
Big shot there by the senior Emil Curto. 6-foot senior. He's averaged 6.2 coming into tonight, and he has 6 here for the G-men. Big shot there by Curto. You can tell he was feeling it. Gives a little fist bump to the Grand Faithful. They're fired up.
And that play made possible, Brady, by a very good pass by Garrett Dalton down low. Had a couple of gray jerseys on him. Looked, saw an open teammate outside, able to get the ball to him for the three-pointer. So who do you think deserves to be named the game MVP? Give us your opinion in the Facebook comments section. Well, I think there's probably going to be a fair amount of votes for Mac McClung, but there's going to be a few for Darren Martin as well. He has really put the G-men on his back here tonight.
Yeah, he's made his case. Zombie Nation through the speakers right now. But if Graham can make a comeback, Martin with the basketball, he may be the MVP here. We got 2 minutes and 30 seconds to figure it out here, Mark. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I hope everyone got that extra soda and that second bag of potato chips on that last break. I would not advise going anywhere for the last 2:30 of this one.
Hope somebody brings me some chips here in a minute.
A quick turnover right here and a three-pointer by Graham. This is a 2-point game.
Yes, absolutely. 2-possession ball game right now.
Zach Irvin gets it into McClung. Cross court to Compton. Back to McClung. Back to Compton to Irvin. Irvin double teamed. Gets out of it. Gets it to McClung. Goes around Martin. Up. No, they're going to say it was a foul. I don't think they're going to call that a shooting foul.
But
I think it's going to be a 1-and-1.
Yeah, they're in the bonus 1-and-1. The Grand Faithful wanted a walk there, but they're not going to get it. McClung's going to go to the line to try to add to this 44-point night.
He is a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Dalton comes back in.
Dalton comes in for Dawson. Here's the shot. 45.
6 for 6 from Mac McClung. Seven for 7. And the lead is 7 at 60-53.
What a night for McClung.
2:05 remaining. If you're the G-men, you've got to manufacture some points here fairly quickly. They get it to their leader, Martin. Thought about a straightaway 3. No. But Drew Baker thought about a 3.
Graham wasting a lot of time.
Garrett Dalton sends it back out to Drew Baker. Thought about a 3. Back to Dalton. A lot of time being evaporated by the G-men. Martin, I think, realizes it. Gets it back outside to Baker. Great defense being played by Gate City. And here's Curto. No. But down low, it is Garrett Dalton with the putback, and he will go to the line to make a conventional three-point play attempt.
Yeah, and that's what you want if you're Graham after wasting all that time on the possession. You get it to the big man, he lays it up and in. He's got a chance for a three-point play, which last time I checked is as good as any of those perimeter shots that Graham was thinking about shooting. So let's see how it goes. 6'5" senior at the line, probably the biggest foul shot of his career.
This would cut it to 4. And it does.
Chance Dawson into the game for the G League.
Talk about McClung's perfect night at the foul line. So is Garrett Dalton.
A 4-point game.
Number 15, Drew Vermillion in for Gate City.
Coming in for Gate City is Vermillion. Compton gets it to McClung. McClung guarded by Martin. McClung started to go to the rack, stops, does the reverse slam dunk, and that's the first highlight reel play of the night for McClung.
48 points for McClung, and you get to see a highlight dunk. Here
Martineau and a rebound by Irvin. And a timeout. No, we're going to have a technical foul called on Glenn Carlock. He is angry. He stomps the floor.
He better watch out. He might get tossed. And that's going to send McClung to the line to shoot 2 more.
Well, you've got to be very careful in this kind of an environment not to let things get out of control. You can see there are a few state troopers that are walking onto the floor just to make sure things calm down just a little bit.
This is what you knew you were going to get when you walked in here tonight, and it's lived up to it. 49 for McClung. What a ball game. Carlock with the tee. Emotions are high in here. And number 50 on its way.
And McClung makes both. He is a perfect 9 for 9 from the free throw line. And Gate City gets possession with 71 seconds remaining in the game.
And they get the ball. Wow.
What a sequence. McClung goes into the lane, started to slam it, held off, misses the short shot. Into the corner it goes. Nick Owens, his 3, no. Fight for the rebound, and we're going to have a foul called. I believe that's going to be on Bradley Dean.
A lot of hustle there for that basketball. That's going to send Curto to the line. It was on Saley, according to the scoreboard. 19 foul for Gate City. Curto shoots the 1-and-1.
54.8 remaining. No good by Curto, rebounded by Irvin. Gets it to Dean. And pretty soon, Graham is going to have to start fouling. Over it comes to Compton. Compton is fouled by Darren Martin. With 42.6 seconds remaining on the scoreboard here in the gymnasium.
And Gate City is getting ready for that trip down Monument Avenue to the Siegel Center at VCU, only 42 seconds away. Compton gets the first one.
His first free throw attempt of the night is good. That makes the lead 9. What a critical sequence that was, Brady, with that technical foul called on Graham's bench. And the second one by Compton is good.
Full timeout by Gate City. They take a 10-point lead with 42 seconds remaining in the ball game. What a ball game.
And we're starting to see across the way some of the Graham faithful beginning to make their way to the exit. And the chant of GC rises up from the Gate City faithful.
No one is allowed on the playing court.
Wow. What an atmosphere, Brady.
What an atmosphere.
It lived up to the billing.
This is absolutely unlike anything I've ever seen. This has been really cool to see. A lot of people that from the area coming in tonight have no ties to Graham, to Gate City. They just want to see a good basketball game, and they did. This is really cool. This is what high school sports are all about.
And you got to give a lot of credit to the Graham G-men. They come in here with a record of 24-2. Their 2 losses each were by a single point to their arch rival, the Bluefield Beavers, one of the better teams in West Virginia. Here's Martin driving, and his shot is up and good, and quickly a timeout is called by Glenn Carlock. An 8-point lead for Gate City, 34.6 seconds remaining.
Full timeout.
What a ball game, 34 seconds. A lot of emotion in here tonight. McClung needed 59 to break that record. He has 50, according to us. And man alive, this has been a lot of fun to call, to see one of the best players to ever strap it up in the history of the state. A lot of folks heading toward the exits. Have fun getting out of that parking lot out there.
Well, maybe that'll help the temperature in this building. I think this crowd has taxed the air conditioning system in this building beyond its limits. Gate City will inbound it. It will be Irvin getting it to McClung. Back to Irvin. He gets it to Bradley Dean. Dean gets across court, but he's going to be fouled in front of the Gate City bench.
He's going to go to the line to shoot too. And the Gate City fans are letting the house hear it. Getting their sweet revenge from the contest down at the Pryor Center at UVA Wise. It sent shockwaves across the Commonwealth.
Did it ever?
Gate City, the Goliath, goes down to Graham, who was honestly overlooked all season. Like Mark mentioned, only have 2 losses until tonight by 1 point apiece. Overlooked because of McClung. But they rocked the basketball world of Virginia that night. But Gate City comes back in response tonight and says, we belong.
Martin's 3-point attempt, in and out. Down low to rebound it is the G-man. Trying to get it down low. Curto up, and he's going to be fouled by Irvin. I believe that's going to be Irvin's 4th.
That's going to be against number 23, Zach Irvin.
14 seconds remaining, a 10-point lead for Gate City. And it certainly appears like they are going to move on to face the winner of Robert E. Lee from Stanton and Central High School from Woodstock.
Curto gets his first free throw to go. That's his 7th of the night, Mark. And what is likely his last basketball game.
This would cut it to 8, but it does not. Irvin has the rebound. He's fouled immediately by Darren Martin.
And the Gate City fans, like they've been all night, they're on their feet here inside Tazewell Middle School's gym. This place has been rocking. There was a lot of question marks on whether or not this would be a nice facility to hold this, and I think that it has been every bit of good.
Kudos to the Tazewell County school system for the way that all the fans got into this building and out of this building. It has proven to be a very nice atmosphere for what was an emotionally charged, very electric atmosphere here tonight.
Absolutely, and you know, shout out to the Tazewell County Public School System for conferring my high school diploma a few years ago.
Well, everybody can make a mistake, right, Rick?
That's exactly right.
Only joking, my friend, only joking. Irvin calmly drops it through. 69-59. (70-59). And Curto will simply wait to pick up the ball at the last possible moment. He dribbles down the lane, and he'll have an uncontested layup. That is no good. And Zach Irvin sends it out to Mac McClung, and that will do it. It's party time in the city. Gate City. They win it by the final score of 70-59, and they will represent the western side of Virginia in the Class II championship game at the Siegel Center in Richmond this weekend. What a game, Brady. It did not disappoint.
What a night for Mac McClung. What a night for the Gate City Blue Devils. What a night for high school basketball. What an unbelievable atmosphere for high school basketball. Gate City going to play Friday night at the Siegel Center. This one was a lot of fun.
That it was. The final score 70-59. Gate City wins it. And a credit to the fans. No one's on the floor except for the players, which is the way it should be. We'll have the award ceremony. Mac McClung is exhorting the blue-clad fans of Gate City to make some noise.
What a contest. Tip of the hat to Darren Martin and the Graham G-men. Unbelievable season, only 3 losses. You know, they lose to the arch rival Bluefield Beavers, and they lose tonight in round 2 against Gate City. And, you know, we mentioned it's hard to beat a good team twice. Gate City comes out with the win, and they're going to take on the winner of Robert E. Lee and Central Woodstock. What a ball game.
What a ball game indeed. Again, the final score from Tazewell Middle School in Tazewell, Virginia. Gate City wins the 2018 VHSL Class II Boys Basketball Semifinal by the score of 70-59. For all of our crew here at Tazewell Middle School, my broadcast partner, Brady Hess, I'm Mark Fout, thanking you for watching tonight's contest on the National Federation of High Schools Network.
Towards Linden, Gate City west on 460, goes straight through the red light.